This conference will now be recorded.
In today's class, we are going to discuss two important topics. One is abstract classes and one more is interfaces. So before we go to this abstract class or interface, let us go with one important point here, one small note. If a base class reference refers to the subclass object, a base class reference refers to the subclass object, then it can invoke only the overridden methods of subclass. Let me elaborate this with an example. If we take a class vehicle with a method drive, let us take a class car extends vehicle. Car is what? It is a subclass of vehicle. In this car, we are going with a method drive. So this is overridden method. This is what? It's a overridden method. Now let us take one more method, change gear. One more method, change gear. See, when you are creating object, we are creating object like this. Vehicle v equal to new car. Understand now carefully. If a base class reference, we call this one as reference, base class reference, we call this as reference, refers to subclass object, you are referring towards subclass object. Now by using this reference, if you call the method drive, here when a base class reference refers to subclass object, now by using this reference, if you call drive method, then which drive method it is going to invoke, that is important to remember. So it is going to invoke drive method of car. So always remember, after equal to whichever the class object you see, you go to that method blindly. It will always goes to overridden method. Now by using this v, if you call the method change gear, this will go with what? Error. Will go with error. That's the point here. If a base class reference refers to subclass object, if it is referring to subclass object, then it can invoke only overridden methods of subclass, only overridden methods. Since change gear is not overridden, we cannot invoke that here. So this point is important to understand the next topics here today. Now, if you write reverse way, that is car C equal to new vehicle, if you are creating subclass reference but referring to base class object, this is not possible. This is error. Only base class can refer to subclass objects, but subclass cannot refer to base class objects. Not possible. Now let us move to the major topic of today's class, that is abstract classes. Let us go with this abstract classes. Now, the use of going with abstract classes is, it is used to form the rules or specifications. It is used to form the rules or specifications. Let me elaborate more on this. If you take a class sample with a method xxx, and when you write some code inside the method, then we call this method as defined or implemented or concrete method. If you take a method y and after parenthesis if you end with a semicolon, not curly braces, just ending with semicolon, then we call this one as declared method. We call declared method. So when you declare a method, then we have to use a keyword in Java before the method, abstract. So what is abstract method? a method which is declared is called as abstract method. If a class contains abstract methods, we have to make the class also as abstract here. The definitions are: a method which is declared is called as abstract method, and an abstract class contains zero or more abstract methods. Now let us understand what is the use of this abstract class. If you create a class, this is the major point about abstract class. If you create a class sample1 extends a sample. See, sample is what type of class here? Abstract class. Sample is abstract class. So if any class extends abstract class, in this abstract class, how many abstract methods are there? Only one. So this method we have to override compulsory. That's the meaning of rules or specifications. That's the meaning of what? Rules or specifications. What is the rules or specification? If any class extends an abstract class, then we have to override this method compulsory. You have to override the method compulsory. If you are not overriding, compiler will inform you to override. It goes with error. That's the meaning called as rules or specifications. Means when we want to ensure your subclasses should override some methods compulsory, then we form that rule using abstract class, and we just create a class which extends abstract class and we override the method here. Then we can even go with other methods. We can even create other methods. So what is the point here? See, understand, very important. So abstract classes are mainly used for what? To form the rules or specifications. What is the main use of abstract class or interfaces? To form the specifications. Now, see here, if you take a class sample with a method xxx, and when we write some code inside the method, we call it as defined or implemented or concrete method. But if you end with semicolon, then we call declared method. If you declare a method, we have to use a keyword abstract before. If you declare a method, we have to use what keyword before method? Abstract. And if a class contains abstract methods, we have to make the class also as abstract. Now, if any class extends abstract class, then we have to override this abstract method compulsory. That's the meaning of rules or specifications. When we want to ensure your subclasses should override some methods compulsory, then we form that rule using abstract class, and we can even have other methods. If you take one more class, sample2 extends a sample to extend sample. If you go with a method something like ppp, then since sample2 extend sample, then we have to override this method compulsory in sample2. If you are not overriding, it goes with error. But I don't want to override. We don't want to override this YYY method in sample2, but we want to make our code compiled. Then if a class extends abstract class, but if you are not overriding abstract methods, then we have to make your class once again as abstract here. So what is the major important point? This is the major point what we use. If a class extends an abstract class, then we need to override all abstract methods. Need to override all abstract methods. Means if your abstract class contains 10 abstract methods, then if any class extends your abstract class, then we have to override all abstract methods. Else means if you are not even overriding one also, else make the class as abstract. If you are not overriding, make the class once again as abstract. So this is the major point what we use more. One more important point, we cannot create objects for abstract classes. Cannot create objects for our abstract classes. Means if you try to create object for sample, since sample is abstract class, we cannot create object for it, goes with error. We cannot create objects for abstract classes, but we can create references referring to the subclass object like this. We can create reference like this, sample s1 equal to new sample1, where sample1 is a subclass of sample. We can create reference referring to subclass object. Just now we have seen no vehicle v equal to new car, that is possible. Forces is a relationship. I mentioned in the last classes now. Whenever we go for inheritance, extends keyword, the meaning between the classes should be what? Is a. Now let us understand all these words programmatically. The things will get recapped in the program, whatever we have discussed. I click on project and say new class abstract demo with main method. Now create a class vehicle. Let us create a class vehicle with a method drive. We are ending with semicolon. Let us take one more method, change gear, where we go with the code changing gear. Here, if you observe, we are getting error C under drive because when we end with a semicolon, this is declared method. So what keyword we have to use before method? Abstract. Still we get error because if a class contains abstract methods, we have to make your class also as abstract. See now there are no errors. If you create a class car extends vehicle, in this if you go with a method change gear, here let me take the method as apply break. Applying break. Now here let us go with the method change gear, where we'll go with the message changing gear. Now if you observe, under car we are getting C compile time error. That is the important point to remember here. See when you keep mouse pointer on this error, see what it is saying? The type car must implement the inherited abstract method drive. So compiler is helping you out which method to override. That's the meaning of rules here. That's the meaning of specifications. If you don't want to override, make your class once again as abstract. That's it. Now the error will go off. Now let us override the drive method. Then go with the message driving a. See, now there is no error. What is the major point? If a class contains abstract methods, make your class as abstract. If any class extends abstract class, we have to override this abstract method. That's the major point what we use. Okay. Coming to main method, if you create object of vehicle, goes with what? Error. Because we cannot create objects for abstract classes. Only references. How to create? Vehicle v equal to new car base class reference referring to subclass object. Now by using this v, we can call try method. Using v, we can call apply break. Using v, if you try to call change gear, goes with error. Because when a base class reference refers to subclass object, it can invoke only overridden methods. The other methods it cannot see here. It goes with what? Error. And how to invoke change gear? By creating object of car directly. To create object of car, then we can call the method change gear. Now so when we run, we get the output, just the messages. Clear everyone? Any questions?
I had one question.
Yes, Kanya.
And in the beginning, you didn't put abstract and you wrote the program, and it showed you error that you have to make one method as abstract, right, sir?
not
While
one method
while
as such.
explaining,
Yeah, here.
you didn't put abstract, and you
Right,
started
right,
writing the program, and then it showed
right.
you error. So how did it know that drive method should be abstract? Why can't apply break be abstract?
Yeah, semicolon we have to see.
Okay,
We have
sir.
to observe semicolon. Okay. So when you end with
Okay.
semicolon, they are abstract methods. When we use curly braces, they are not abstract, concrete methods. That's the
Uh-huh.
elaboration what I'm here. That's the point I've given. See, when you
Okay,
use
I
curly
missed
brace,
that.
we call it as defined or implemented or concrete. When you end with the semicolon, declared. That's a simple way to identify.
Okay, okay.
Clear,
Thank you,
Kalyan?
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let us understand more of this. Let me take one more example. Let us consider we are having a parrot. We are having what? A parrot. The parrot is having a functionality whistle. Means parrot can whistle. Parrot can whistle. Now, let us consider we are having a person. We are having a person. Person also having a functionality whistle. Now we want to ensure that this whistle method is present in parrot as well as person. So when we want to ensure some method need to be present in your classes, then we form the rule using abstract class like this. We create an abstract class whistler, then we go with a abstract method whistle. We go with abstract method whistle. Now we ensure that this parrot extends whistler, person also extends whistler. So when a class extends abstract class this whistler, then we have to override whistle method compulsory. That is the meaning of rule here. But there is a problem here. So when you say parrot extends whistler, person extends whistler, how to read? Parrot is a whistler, person is a whistler. But is it meaningful statement? Is it meaningful? No. Parrot is not whistler, person is not whistler. So if you read the code in this fashion, parrot and person belongs to same family, which is not correct way of approach here. Even pressure cooker also whistles. So can we say pressure cooker and person belongs to same family? No. So here we are not getting easy relationship. In this example, we are not getting what? Easy meaning. But the point is abstract classes forces easy relationship. But in this example, we are not getting easy relationship. But we want to form the rule. In that case, we make use of a concept like interfaces. We go for what? Interface. A small difference between abstract class and interface. So same concept, it is used to form the rules or specifications. Does not force, this is the major difference, does not force is a relationship. Even we can have easy, but it won't force. What is an interface? In an interface, all data members are public, static, and final by default. By default, the variables in interface are public, static, and final. In an interface, all methods are public and abstract by default. Default, the methods are public and abstract. How to create interface? How to create interfaces? By using a keyword interface and the interface name. Like class name, interface name. In this, if you declare any variable like int max equal to 100, then by default it will write before the variable public, static, final. So square brackets indicates optional. Whether you are writing or not writing, Java will write these keywords automatically. If you go with a method like void xxx, why. By default, the methods in interface are public and abstract. Even you are writing or not writing, Java will write these keywords automatically. So the methods in interface by default are public and abstract. Square brackets indicates optional or by default. Same point, if a class implements an interface, class to class we say extends, class to interface we say implements. If a class implements an interface, then we need to override all abstract methods, else make the class as abstract. Same principle, else make the class as abstract. Like example, to take a class C1 implements, the keyword what we use between class and interfaces implements I1. Class C1 implements I1, then we have to override the abstract methods. These two methods we have to override here. Same principle. Same point, we cannot create objects for interfaces, but we can create references referring to the subclass object. Like example, if you say I1 I equal to new, I1 goes with error because we cannot create objects, only references. I1 equal to new C1 referring to subclass object. This is possible. One more important point, a class can extend only one class in Java because Java does not support multiple inheritance. But a class can implement multiple interfaces. Like example, if you take one more interface, A2, with a method z, then if you take a class C2 implements I1 comma I2. So C2 is implementing I1 and even I2 also. Then we have to override the methods of I1 interface. We have to override the methods of I1 interface and even I2 also. Both the methods we have to override. We have to override methods of I1 and even I2 also. Class to class, which keyword we use? Extends. Class to interface, keyword we use? Class to interface implements. Interface to interface. Remember, interface to interface is also possible. We use extends. Like example, interface I3 extends I1. Interface to class. Interface to class. Not possible, error. One more last point. An interface can extend multiple interfaces. An interface can extend multiple interfaces. Like example, interface I4 extends I1 comma I2. Clear? Any questions? Now let us understand with the program. Interface demo. And I click on project and say new class interface demo. In this, let us create an interface. Check. with a method draw. Now, to take a class circle which implements shape. Class circle implements what? Shape. Then see, we are getting error. See the error message? The type circle must implement inherited abstract method draw. So we have to override the method draw compulsory. Drawing a circle. Now coming to main method. Here, if you try to create object of shape, it goes with error because we cannot create objects for interfaces, only references. Shape is equal to new circle, referring to subclass object. Now by using this S, we can call the method draw. But if you observe, can you see error in line number 7? Yes, right? Can you see error line number 7 under draw method? The reason is the draw method in interface shape. Is it a public method? The draw method in interface shape, is it a public method? Is this method is a public method? Yes, right? That's the point what I have given. By default, the methods in interface are public and abstract. So even you are writing or not writing, this is a public method. So when we override a public method, the overridden also should be public. It's a rule of overriding. It's a rule of overriding. What is the rule of overriding? If you override any public method, overridden also should be public. So when implementing means overriding interface methods, then the overridden method should be public. And the overridden method should be what? Public. And we run, we get simple message drawing a circle. Then we're adding some more points here. From Java 8 version, we can define methods in interfaces using default keyword. From Java 8 version, we can even define methods in interfaces like this. If you take a method fill, where we go with the message filling, then see we are getting error. But to define methods from Java 8, we have to just give what keyword here before default. We have to use a keyword default before the method. Okay. Right. So this is possible from Java 8 version. Now by using this reference, you can call the method fill. You can call the method fill here. Then, now see when we run, we get simple message filling. Then one more point. From Java 8 version, we can define static methods. We can define static methods in interfaces. From Java 9 version, we can define private methods in interfaces. Okay, these are the features added related to interfaces. One more point. That is abstract and final are illegal combination of modifiers. You cannot combine these two at one place. Like example, If you create a abstract class, the meaning of abstract class will be class will come only when you create subclass. Because we cannot create object of abstract class, so without creating object we cannot access the members. So compulsory we have to create subclass. But if you make it as final, then can we create subclass of final? No. So combining these two keywords at one place goes with error, because abstract and final are illegal combination. Not combine these two keywords at one place. Even for method also, if you make a method as abstract, the meaning will come only when you override. But if you make it final, we cannot override. So these two keywords we cannot combine it same place. Clear everyone? Any questions? Right. No. So that's about object oriented. Then from Java OOP assignments, now you can do question 9. This is based on abstract classes, and question 8 is based on abstract class, and question 9 is based on interfaces. From the beginning, when I started object oriented, I was saying something about Java coding standards. So I've documented everything at one place. Like for class, what is the standard we have to follow? First letter of every word is capital. If you take a class, first letter of every word should be what? Capital. If you take a variable, that is data member, first letter of first word should be small, and the remaining words first letter should be capital. Method, same principle. First letter of first word is small, remaining words first letter is capital. Final variables, all capital case. Keywords, it's a syntax rule, all small. Packages also all small. So just have documented at one place here. Okay. So when you are writing your own programs, or if you are using any predefined classes or interfaces or variables, anything, if you are using anything predefined, we have to follow the same standards. It's a very easy way to remember the case sensitivity. Right. So as I mentioned in the last class, like I'll be discussing the previous class assignments today. So today we'll be going with two examples here. Like let us go with the first one, a factorial program. This one, let us complete this factorial program. Write a program to display the following. Write a program to display the following output. So we have to draw a line, number, and factorial. Again, draw the line, number 1, factorial of 1 is 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 4, 124, 5, 120. So we want to display the factorial of every number between 1 to 5, and after that draw the line. Again say now sum equal to sum of all these factorials, which is 153. So this is the task what we want to do. Sum of factorials here. Let us go with this code. Sumfact.java. Open Eclipse. Right click on project and say new class sumfact. In this one, let us take a variable int sum equal to 0 initially. Now let us define one method fact which takes the number as argument. We have discussed already how to define fact method. So take a variable f equal to 1, and what is the logic of going with factorial? Take a for loop which starts from given number and until it reaches 1, I minus minus, and say f equal to f into I. Then once the for loop is over, we'll return the value of f. So already we discussed this method. Now in the program main method, we have taken sum as 0. Now draw a line, then go with the message number and factorial. And again draw the line. Now take a for loop which starts from 1 until it reaches 5, because we want to go with 1 to 5 only. Then n plus plus. So this for loop will repeat for how many times? 5 times. Now what you have to display? The number into the number, then space and factorial of that number. See here, very simple. When you go with methods, the code will be very easy. So first n is what? 1. So it is going to print 1. Then fact of 1. So what is going to happen? This 1 will come and store into this n argument, which returns the factorial of 1. Then once you get this factorial of 1, add it to sum, like this. Sum equal to sum place fact of n. So the factorial of 1 is added to sum. Now the loop repeats. N plus plus. N will become 2. 2 less than or equal to 5? Yes. Then it's going to print 2. Fact of 2. Fact of 2. Then that fact of 2 is added to sum. Like that it repeats for 5 times. Now once the for loop is over, draw the line. Then say here sum equal to sum of all this. That's it. Again draw the line. Okay. So we are getting error here because main is static. Inside a static method, if you call any other method directly, that method also static. Already I discussed on this. A static method can access only static. Now see, when we run, we get the output here. Okay. So play with methods. If you write the code in the form of methods, the code will become easy for us. One more example. Write a program to find the or to check. Write a program to check whether the given number is prime or not. What are prime numbers? The numbers which are divisible by 1 and itself are prime numbers, no other factors. First of all, let us understand the logic of prime. Let us understand what the logic of prime program. If you take the number as 5, we should divide this 5 with what? 2, 3, 4. To take any number, we have to check whether it contains any factor between 2 to n minus 1. 2 to n minus 1, because we know that every number is divisible by 1 end itself. If you take a number as 6, then we have to divide with 2, 3, 4, 5. So any number you take, we have to divide the number by number between 2 to n minus 1 to check for divisibility. Now, whatever the number we accept initially, we initially consider that the number is prime. So we take one Boolean variable and we'll say is prime as true initially. We take is prime as true. Then start dividing 5 with 2, 3, 4 like this. 5 mod 2 is the remainder 0? No. 5 mod 3 is the remainder 0? No. 5 mod 4 is the remainder 0? No. So we have divided 5 with 2, 3, 4. So there are no factors. Then is prime remains as it is true. Then we say is 5 is prime. Coming to 6. Here also we take one Boolean variable and we initially consider is prime as true. Then start dividing 6 with 2, 3, 4 like this. 6 mod 2 is the remainder 0? Yes. So if it is having a factor, then immediately we have to make is prime as false, indicating 6 is not prime. So once we know that is prime is false, 6 is prime number, 6 is not prime, then we need not divide with 3, 4, 5. So how to come out of loop? Using break. Using break we can come out. Let me write the complete code here like this. if you take away number as 5, initially we take is prime as true, then start dividing this 5 with 2, 3, 4 like this. For int I equal to 2, I less than n means n is not included, then I plus start dividing. If n mod I equal to 0 here, what is the value of n here? 5. And what's the value of I initially? 2. Then starts dividing here. 5 mod 2 is remainder 0? No. Again I plus 3. 5 mod 3 is remainder 0? No. Again I plus 4. 5 mod 4 is the remainder 0? No. Again I plus 5. 5 less than 5, condition is false, comes out of for. Once you come out of for loop, you check here. If the value of is prime is remaining as it is true, then we'll display the message right. If you take the number as 6, if you take number as 6, initial value of is prime is true, comes here. I equal to 2, 2 less than 6, s comes to if condition. 6 mod 2 equal to 0, s. Then immediately we'll make is prime as false and we come out of loop using break. Once we come out of loop, what's the value of is prime? It has become false. Then we'll go to else part and we'll display the message not prime. Right? So this is the logic. Let us write the complete code. In this one, we'll define a method prime which takes a number as argument. So for this number, we want to check whether it is prime or not. So just to keep the logic here. So take a boolean variable is prime initially true. Then divide your number from 2 to n minus 1. Same logic I'm keeping here. If n mod I equal to 0 means if it's having any factor, then immediately we'll make is prime as false and we come out of loop using break. Now once we come out of for loop, just return the value of is prime. Return the value of is prime. So if the number, whatever you are passing, if the number is prime, it's going to return what? True. If the number is not prime, the value of is prime will become false, then it's going to return false. Then, so this prime method is returning is prime. Is prime is what type of data? Boolean. So the return type of this method is Boolean. Coming to main method, create object of scanner class. Create object of scanner, connect to keyboard, accept a number, will store the number into n variable. Will store the variable into n variable. Now check whether this number is prime or not. How to check? Just go with if condition. To the if condition, you call prime method and pass your number. If you take the number as 4, prime of 4. Since 4 is prime or not prime? Not prime. So it's going to return false. So if it is returning false, we'll say not prime. If you take number as 5, prime of 5. 5 is what? Prime. Then it's going to return true. Then if it is returning true, we'll go with the message prime. If it is returning false, we'll go with the message not prime. That's it. You can even reduce the code. Like if there is a factor, then what I should return false. Simply remove this is boolean is prime variable. If there is a factor, what I should return? False. What I should return? False. Now, once we come out of for loop and if you are not returning false, that indicates the number is prime. Simply can say return here. We can even reduce the code also using methods. Now, see when we run, if you take the number as 5, we get the message prime. If you run the code, if you take 6, we get not prime. Clear everyone? You have to recap it. Please recap it one more time. One more task also I have given. What is that? Write a program to find sum of prime numbers from 2 to 100. Very simple code now. The code will become very small now. So the advantage of methods we are going to see now. How this method will become reusable, that we are going to see now. So right click on project name, say new class, sum prime. Take a variable int sum equal to 0. Now take a for loop which starts from 2 until it reaches 100, then n plus plus. Now check it here. If prime of n, then take that number and add it to sum here. That's it. Now once we come out of for loop, print the value of some variable. Very simple code. See here. First n is what? 2. 2 less than or equal to 100, yes, comes here. If prime of 2, so goes to this method, goes to this prime method, then takes the number as 2. Since 2 is prime, it's going to return true. So when it returns true, that 2 will be added to sum. Then n plus plus, n will become 3. 3 less than or equal to 100, yes. Then if prime of 3 goes to this method prime, now the number is 3. Since 3 is prime, it's going to return true. Then that 3 will be added to sum. Next number 4. 4 is not prime. Then that 4 will not get added to sum. Only if this condition is true, means if the number is prime, then only it adds it. Then, since prime is a method, belongs to this prime class. Since prime is a method, belongs to prime class. And since it is static, we can even call with the class name. Call this method using class name, because static methods are accessible directly with the class name. Now see, when we run, we get the output here. So when you are writing the code using methods, the code will become reusable. We can use that methods in other programs also. So try to write the code using methods. Right? So please recap all these 3 programs today, and any questions you can even ask in next class also. And tomorrow we are going to start up with a new topic, LAN package. Okay, where we are going to see some of the predefined classes present in Java belongs to LAN package. Okay, right. Any questions, anyone?